To discuss the clothing of the Kohen Gadol. It was very important, and it says, imagine if he didn't. It was a psul in the avodah. You can't. Meaning to say, part of the avodah is part of serving as you bring your korban, anything like that. The bet kodesh kodashim, you have to wear those clothing. You have to wear it. And he says, what is so important of that? First of all, two things. One thing is, the Kohen Gadol, he starts realizing that, wow, I'm the only one that could wear these clothes. Nobody else could wear these clothes. I'm wearing 4 extra garments. You know, every Kohen wore 4 garments. He wore 8. So I'm wearing 4 extra garments than any other Kohen. I'm the Kohen Gadol. So when he had that, it was kavod for him. It was the honor for him, but it wasn't honor. It was honor to show that what he's about to do in the Bet HaMikdash, in the Kodesh Kodashim, was a great service. So therefore, you're wearing all this. Nobody else can wear. You're the only one. Wow! It motivates him and uplifts him that he has to do more service in the Bet HaMikdash, and he has to take it seriously. Why is that? Why is that so important to know? Because you see how clothing play a factor in a person's way he acts. You know, when a person dresses schlumpy, he feels like a schlump. Think about it. You ever go on let's say on a Sunday, you get up, you just put on, you feel like a schlump when you're wearing schlumpy clothing. And then when you're wearing a suit and a tie, and you're looking good and looking fresh, you have a whole different act, the way you project yourself. You understand? Clothing is so important because it affects the way you act. You say, big deal, who cares what I wear? No, we care what you wear. What do we care? Even one of the things that we got saved, one of the things that we didn't change in Egypt, 3 things. What does it say? The language, the names, and what we wore. Malbusham. Say, that's a factor? Yes, that's a factor, because if you would change your clothing and wore what they wore in Egypt, then you would act like that Egyptian. You imagine what's going on over here. And therefore, a person in his life, he has to understand, the clothing will help you act in a certain way. That's why Shabbat, when it comes in, you have to understand something. Shabbat clothing is a whole different level. You look in Meser HaGigah. Go look, it's on Daf Kaf Amud Aleph. Over there, it speaks about a person by accident wore his Shabbat clothing during the week. It speaks a whole scenario about that. Say, who cares? No, we care. Why do we care? Because when you dress appropriate, you will act appropriate. And Shabbat Kodesh is a whole different level of dress. It's a whole different level. You know, sometimes a person comes to the Kiddush and he's just like sweatpants and a t-shirt. You know? I remember one time I brought a friend to my house. It was a Friday night. I brought him over to my house. He's sleeping over. It was like a long time ago. We were like teenagers. And then he came in like with a t-shirt. Like not even really, it was worse. It was like, I don't know what. I was like, what's going on? He came with like more less than a t-shirt, right? Yeah, like what's going on? Like, what is he doing? My mother was flipping out. My brother was flipping out. My father was like, what's going on over here? The whole vibe of the Shabbat table is a whole different vibe. Because you feel it. You feel a difference. And therefore, you always got to give the kavod. How you give the kavod? By the way you dress. And don't take it lightly. Don't think it's a simple matter. Oh, big deal, I dress like that. Big deal, no. The way you dress, that's going to project how you act. And that's why if you look a lot of times, like a person, look how you dress, right? Like, hey, looks hashuvi, right? You know, one time I'll tell you true. The Mikey, you know, sitting in front of, I won't mention his name publicly, but sitting in front of us now. One time, one guy came to the shul and he tells him, this is how you come to the shul with, this is what he said. The older guy, he says, you know, you look very schlumpy. So he came over to me and he says, Rabbi, is this true? I said, the truth is, I think that if you would dress more appropriate in shul, I think you'll have a better prayer. And ever since that day, he changed his whole dress code when he came to the shul, and he tells me, Rabbi, a different prayer. Why do you have a different prayer? Because I feel different. You know, even I should say. Can I say his name or no? I won't say his name. No, I won't say his name. But he's sitting in front of us. He changed his whole. He changed his whole way. He tells me. He says, you don't understand. I changed the way I dressed and I pray differently. It's the way you dress, the way you act. The way you dress, the way you act. And by the way, that's why it's important, to look to par. Don't look this, that. No, dress appropriate. Dress this, dress that. I think they did a study once how like they took a guy who was like the lowest in the like there was a big company. He's like he was mopping the floors, and they said one day we're going to switch it around. He's not going to wear what he's going to wear. He's going to wear like the best suit. We're going to get him the best suit, and we're going to have a crazy tie and very hashuv, and he can't say a word. Just don't say nothing. Just sit there, don't say nothing. And it happens to be when people walked in, like from buyers, he was just sitting there, and everybody's giving the right, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? And he just says, hi. That was his job that day. Hi. So what happened? They gave him a different type. Why? Because respecting the way you dress. The way you dress is the way a person, it changes the way you act. And therefore, a person has to dress appropriately. In every situation, there's a different dress. Shabbat, you're not wearing your weekday clothes. Shabbat, you're wearing Shabbat clothes. And it says on Yom Tov, on the holidays, you should wear better even than Shabbat. It's a wild thing. It says now, better clothes. You say, what? Why? It's a whole different type of level of dressing. You go to a wedding, you dress differently. I remember when I was younger, I came in with not my suit jacket. I remember I was like 18, not my suit jacket. And there was a big rabbi over there, and he came over to me. He said, "Let me tell you something. When you come to a wedding, you wear the full suit. Make sure you put on your suit jacket." I was like, wow, I'm 18 years old, I'm hearing that from the big rabbi. He was at 70s at the time, I was 18, I was going to my first, one of the weddings. So he's saying, why every place and every situation, there's a different way of dressing. There's a different way of dressing. Shabbat is Shabbat, weekday is weekday. If a person's going out, let's say for example, Shidduchim, there's a different way of dressing. You're not going to dress like a shlump. You're going to dress like a hashuvi person. You have a meeting with somebody, you're dressing hashuv, because they're going to view you differently. The way your clothes are your respect. The way you dress, they're going to respect you the way you dress. That's important. They see you. Oh, this guy, shlump. So therefore, a person has to remember this lesson and take it to heart.